Let's take a quick look at what's making headlines in some of the newspapers this morning. And let's start with the Business Day, taking a look at that front page. This is what they're leading with this morning. Business Day. Their lead story is around Anglo. No to better offer. Heavy going for BHP's efforts to get complex merger deal approved. So that's the latest in that saga. Proposed UK tax changes will hit expats. Now, proposed change by the UK government of its tax regime to one taxing foreign income and gains as well on a residence basis will have significant consequences for South Africans planning to emigrate to the UK. Steelworkers secure an inflation-beating wage deal. Employers in the steel sector have signed an above-inflation multi-term wage deal with the largest union, potentially setting a precedent for future labour agreements and also raising operational costs for the embattled sector. And racism and anti-Semitism rock wealth management firm and international wealth and asset manager Callio Capital has been rocked by racism and anti-Semitism allegations leveled against one of its shareholders in an ugly episode that has seen relations between the company's top brass and shareholders break down. That's the front page of the Business Day this morning. Let's move on to the Star. The Star this morning, and they are going with a story around the battle for control of MK Party raging on. Ousted founder of the party is demanding that the IEC reinstate him as the rightful leader. Also, ANC in Joburg gunning for poster thief. The ANC in the Greater Johannesburg region has appealed to law enforcement agencies to deal with people who commit electoral sabotage by removing elections campaign posters of rival political parties. Officials battle with George identity process. The authorities in George are moving slowly to establish the identities of victims removed from the rubble because those recovered are in a state of decomposition. And a picture there of Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi visiting the family of 5-year-old Ditebogo Junior Palane, who was shot and killed during a hijacking in Soshanguve in Pretoria on Friday. That's the front page of this morning's Star. The Citizen, Eskom not out of the woods yet. Electricity Minister Dr. Kgosientsho Ramokgopa has harsh words for ex-Eskom CEO Andre de Ruyter's exceptional level of incompetence, saying that the utility breached the 70% mark on the energy availability factor for the first time since 2021. But people mustn't assume that it's all over, because it's not, says an expert. Beautiful picture there, a silk floss tree, also known as a Brazilian kapok tree in Blairgowrie yesterday. The exotic tree, originally from South America, is in full bloom countrywide. I'll go if my party fails. That's the leader of the ACDP, Kenneth Meshwe. Details on that story on page 5. Anger as no donation caps are put on parties. The new act is taken to the courts over party donation declarations. And Transnet's 60 billion rand bill is borne by the taxpayers. Most of this debt is owed to the banks, which earn close to R1 billion a month in interest. That's the Citizen this morning. And moving on to Sowetan, their lead story this morning in Sowetan, 15 million rand pension fraud. Were you scammed? Bogus lawyer and 4 others caught for alleged theft of millions that's due to claimants. And the Hawks are urging victims to come forward as the probe into the fleecing of 16 families widens. Also, why we take voting seriously. The Tinswalos and Baroka nervous ahead of the playoff spot, and the face behind Marsinga songs. Those are some of the stories that Sowetan carries today. Those are the front pages of your newspapers today. And of course, don't forget the SABC's own website, www.sabcnews.com. There you have it, sports, news, and all sorts of stories that we are covering here on SABC News across our various platforms. You can catch up with all of that. And of course, if you haven't yet done so, please do yourself a favor. In fact, someone came up to me in Bloemfontein showing me that they had actually downloaded the SABC Plus app. So really appreciate that, and they concurred. It is indeed worthwhile. So that's another way for you to keep yourself abreast of developments news-wise, sabc.co.za, or you can download our SABC Plus app.